My name is Malcolm Gregory. If I haven't met you before, hello. I'm with a couple of colleagues from my office, Olivia and Egbe, and we're going to tell you this morning about age, capability, retirement and good management. Default retirement age. Can you remember a little while ago, probably, I don't know, early 2000s, when somebody reached 65, what could you do to them if you didn't want them in the business anymore? What could you do? You just fire them. I'm sorry, but you're going to be made to retire on your 65th birthday. And what could they do about it? Does anybody remember? No, absolutely not a sausage. Nothing at all. And why not? Because you couldn't claim unfair dismissal if you were over 65. There was no such thing as age discrimination. In fact, going back not that long, remember discrimination on the grounds of sex, race, pretty much it. Then disability came in, and then gradually the number of things on which you cannot discriminate has grown. But in the early days, age was just not on the cards. So it was really simple. Workforce planning was really simple, wasn't it? So at 65, you want a bit of a change, you want to bring some different people in. Very straightforward. Very little risk. So what's wrong with that? Any problems? As HR professionals, any problems? No. That works perfectly. That gives us maximum flexibility to achieve all of our stated aims. Does it work for an industrial relations perspective? Probably not. Does it make you times 100 best employer? Maybe not. What did the government think about it? Government thought, well, we're going to have to bring in this age discrimination malarkey, aren't we, at some point, because that's what the Europeans want us to do. So we're going to have to think a bit more carefully about this. So when they brought in age discrimination, because we had such a blunt instrument, which was you can be dismissed when you're 65 on retirement, they said, I'll tell you what, instead of abolishing a retirement age, a default retirement age, we're going to give you a special retirement age of 65 for a little while until you all get used to it. So that was around about the 6th of April 2011, I'm getting at this. Oh, that was when it was removed, I beg your pardon. 1st of October 2006. And do you remember those days, just going back a little bit, when you still had the default retirement age? What did you have to do then when somebody was coming up to retirement? Can you remember? You just knock on the door on their 65th birthday with a card and their P45? No, that was the day before. So when they brought in this default retirement age, what did you have to do? A bit like the flexible working process. Exactly, yeah, give them notice. And you had to give notice which was not earlier than a year before the intended retirement date and not later than 6 months before. You have a meeting, you have a chat about it, you had to think about whether you could avoid retirement, of course, because that warmed us up to the idea that default retirement age was about to go. And really, it was pretty straightforward as long as you hit the necessary deadlines. So you could still retire people at 65. So then the government decided, okay, we're going to do away with it completely. You've had long enough. And so they got rid of it on, if you were listening earlier, you'd have got this date, 6th of April 2011. And we don't have a default retirement age any longer. Is that news to anybody? I suspect not. Good news, excellent. So why did they get rid of it? Anybody got any ideas? Money! Of course it's about money. Nobody can afford to retire any longer. Everybody's living for longer. And on that basis, you've got to work. And really, quite happily, I noticed these statistics in the note. 16%, in 2008, 16% of the population was over 65. And by 2033, which is roughly when I'm going to be 65-ish, it'll be 23%, which I think, although I'm no statistician, means I'm probably still going to be alive then. But I'm not sure. But what it means is we're all going to have to work for longer. Pensions are worth less. Final salary schemes are going or gone. Anybody still in a final salary scheme? Oh, lucky you! Congratulations. You'll be retired when you're 50. Actually, thinking back, I remember telling my parents I wanted to retire when I was 50, and they thought it was a bit ambitious even then. And they said, why don't you try for 55? Yeah, fat chance. In fact, you know you can draw your state pension, the retirement age for state pension is going up, isn't it? I had a look last night to see when I'm going to retire. Apparently, I can claim my state pension when I'm 66, 8 months and 22 days. It's true. 100 and something pounds a month it is, a week, beg your pardon. But what really made my wife a little upset was the fact that she has to carry on until she's 67. I think there is some justice there. So, 12-month transition period. When they said we're going to abolish 65 as a default retirement age, instead of springing it on you, they gave you this transitional period, which to this day I still do not understand. But it allowed you to retire somebody until the magic date, which was 5th April last year. Did anybody have any final retirements going through that period, or did you just ignore it completely? Transitional things for me, in terms of legislation, are often overly complicated, but it was there. So, what's the effect of the abolition of the default retirement age? The effect is you can't sack somebody on the grounds that you're going to retire them. You know there are 5 potentially fair reasons to dismiss somebody. Yeah? Check them out. Redundancy. Conduct. Capability. Some other, good one. Some other, that is really good for this summer of the morning. Some other substantial reason and... sorry? Say again. Misconduct is conduct, same, we just had conduct. Yes, the other one is statutory illegality, 5 reasons. And of course, when you had retirement, there were 6, which didn't look so impactful when I was saying, no, 5 reasons, 6 reasons. Now there are 5 reasons again. So you cannot dismiss somebody on the grounds of retirement. Options in terms of what you can do and what you maybe have done already. You can, if you want, try and have a retirement age for your organisation. Or then again, you can decide not to. Show of hands, put your hands up if you have a default retirement age still in your organisation. Direct age discrimination. Do you know what direct age discrimination is? I'm sacking you because you are 65. I am sacking you because you are a man. I'm sacking you because you are a woman. I'm sacking you because you are disabled. That's a direct age discrimination. It's the most obvious one. And it's the one that happens fairly rarely, to be honest, because most employers aren't that stupid. What is indirect discrimination? There is a rule that you apply to everybody that has a bad effect on certain people. And the certain people can be people of a particular age, sex, race, disability. Yeah. So if you have a rule, you apply it to everybody, you think on the face of it, well, the rule is fair. The rule has to be fair because I'm applying it to you, and you. I'm not challenging, I'm not changing anything, I'm just applying it to everybody. Okay? But unfortunately, that rule, when applied, has a really bad effect on a certain group. And it might be younger people, it might be older people, it might be women, it might be men. That's what indirect discrimination is. Does that make sense?